Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming back to us. We apologize for the delays. It's this live stuff that, hey, that sets us apart from everybody, and we have to deal with these technical difficulties that deal with us. But we will be continuing the conversation that you all, what is it, 40, 50 of y'all we watching?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we're gonna be. I wish it was a million, but hopefully you guys do come back to watch this part, and you're right now with us watching, so we can continue from here. But before we do, we have a public announcement by Brother Ron.
Yes, I want to give out a public announcement and just say offhand, listen, today, I hope our heart and thoughts and prayers goes out to a couple of family members of mine. On my dad's side, my cousin Danny lost his father. So, the family is working through that. And also on my mother's side, my uncle's wife's sister passed at 2:27 a.m. this morning.
Wow, shit.
So my heart and thoughts and prayers go out to both of those sides of my family, because both of those individuals are avid watchers of our show also.
Wow.
So we just want to let you know we thank you so much for your support, and we mourn with you in your time of grief.
Yes,
so
we do. Thank you, Danny,
thank you
for always being here
thank
with
you
us,
so
man.
much, as well as on Easter. Thank you on
Yes.
Easter, and Uncle
Yes,
Robel.
on Easter.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But anyways, as I was saying before we technical difficulty got cut off, I was saying, how I have the two different sets of daughters. They'll tell different stories. When it'll be funny, because I always think about it, because it's like, it'll be funny when they sit down and, yeah, dad, this, dad, that. Not the dad, you talking about the same dad? My dad didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
He did that with you, but he didn't do it with this. And then the vice versa. Well, he didn't do that with me.
Yeah.
But then you got to think, we had a mom around. You didn't. You were with him by yourself. We had a mom that we also had to deal with in terms of how they were raising us.
Right.
Your parenting style really does change when you don't have that partner involved.
Really?
Because I was married, of course.
Right.
I was married, then we got divorced, and even though my ex-wife, she came around, she spent time with the kids, she still did stuff with them and all this kind of stuff. On a day-to-day, it was still just me and them.
Yeah.
And my parenting style changed a lot when I became a solo parent, because a lot of things that I could stress over, or even in some cases obsess about, when I had the luxury of just being able to focus on those things, because I had a partner who could take care of some other stuff, I had to let go. It's like, oh wait, that's not really all that important, that's not that big of a deal. Now we're gonna address it, move on. We're not gonna harp on this.
Right.
We're gonna talk to you about it, or we're gonna deal with it, whatever the situation called for, and then I'm gonna let it go. Because I can't afford to spend time on this, because I got to deal with you, and you, and about 1,500 other things, because I'm doing everything by myself at that point. So it really does affect how you deal with parenting. I became a more laid-back parent because I was single. And honestly, and like I said, I had all my kids before I hit 30. Honestly, in hindsight, I think I won't say I wish I would have waited, but I probably would have been a better parent had I waited.
In what ways, John?
I was young and just inexperienced in life. And of course, in hindsight, again, I'm realizing that I was still dealing with a lot of issues having to deal with my dad, things that I hadn't got over yet.
I think we have a caller calling in right now as we speak. Hey, caller, this is my cousin Danny. How you doing, brother? I'm good, man. Hey, we're recording right now. Did you want to talk about the subject we was on, man?
Yo, hey, thank you for being with us, man. We're all good. Our prayers are with you, man. We're hoping you're all good.
Man, I'm taking it 1 minute at a time.
And I know what you're going through, man. I had to experience the same shit, man. About my dad's been gone, about 8-9 years now. My mom's gone about 4 or 5. So I know what you're feeling, man.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. All of the words of encouragement are great, but I want to touch on that because my dad, I hope, and I expect everybody to feel like they dad about this. My dad was Superman. He wasn't scared of nothing or no one. He was my best friend.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
I
that's
could talk to that man about anything. He truly showed me what he said, that nobody loves you on this planet no more than I do, except for your mother.
Right.
right.
And he showed me that, though. So hats off to all the dads that make their children feel like that.
Right.
Hey, Danny, man, cousin, I got a question for you, man. We talking about being an older parent versus a younger parent, and you know, we wish we was live right now, but we are recording, okay? So you will be on once we put the broadcast out.
Oh, no, it's not a problem.
The question I have for you, man, is like, I don't know how old you were when you had your babies, man. You know, a younger, what have you. But
my youngest was 25.
You was 25?
20. Oh, no, I'm sorry. My son was 25. My daughter, my first daughter, was at the age of 18.
And then your second was at 25?
And then my second one was at the age of 23.
Okay.
23 and a half, 24.
Okay.
And then my third child was at 25. And then my baby girl, she was at 30.
So what we was discussing, Jonathan just now was discussing the difference between him having children. Well, you know, of course, you know, before the age of 30, I believe, correct? Right. So the question was, did you see any differences in whatever those differences were? What were they between you having, let's say, your first child 18. At a younger age, at 18, and then having a child when you were older, man? Were there any differences that you saw in yourself as a parent?
Oh yeah, I mean, just for me alone, it was, and I'm just gonna call it what it is: stupidity and lack of patience.
Man, you said a mouthful right there, brother.
I mean, first of all, I can explain the stupidity. I was stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. I was stupid, and I ain't gonna say stupid. I was ignorant. I had lack of knowledge. Right. But what made it worse was that I thought no one could tell me anything about how to raise a child until she got here. Then when she got here, I learned that I was stupid. I learned that it took more than just going to shoot a shot with them, basketball, or going to take them to buy some pretty clothes, or having tea parties with them. Because I got 3 girls and 1 boy, so I done basically did it all. And it takes more than that. With my parents and the older generation of elders before me, grandparents, great-grandparents, even aunts and uncles that are old enough, there was just something different about, even when they were young, they did things a little bit differently than what I did or what the younger generation does. The younger generation wants to be your friend. My father and my mother became my friends once I actually got out of their house. Mm-hmm. And they no longer had control. I was living my own life. I was paying my own bills. I wasn't asking them for nothing but just to love me, mm-hmm. and just to talk to me at times. That's when, things changed. But before that, there wasn't no friends. It was you do what I tell you to do, and I don't have time to explain this to you. Mm-hmm. Today's generation, they want an explanation of why.
So we have a generation
gap. It may be from saving your life. Well, the reason I told you not to step off that curve because there's cars driving down the street and you ain't paying attention. If I'd have explained that to you, you would have got hit.
So you would agree that there's a generation gap in terms of like how we make parent our children at a certain age or versus what we see now, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
There's so many gaps in there. I mean, there's so many things that show you gaps. For one, like teachers, corporal punishment, things of that nature. People get out of line, especially children, and I don't care. It was just a different times. Mm-hmm. Adults didn't lie on children when I was coming up. Adults didn't lie on children. Mm-hmm. That's how I came up. What they got to lie on you for? Right. Mm-hmm. What they got to lie? What they got to lie for? But also everybody was on a general accord of showing the utmost respect.
Hey, brother, I'm sorry I have to cut you off right there because we got other callers coming in. But we gonna discuss that at length even more, man. But we appreciate you for your feedback, man. Thank you so
No
much, my
problem.
cousin.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
God
y'all have a
bless you. We
great evening.
appreciate that.
I'm about to hop on this bike and ride for a
No,
second.
no doubt. But thanks for taking out the time to call us, man, during this
Appreciate it,
time.
man.
Thank you
And
so much.
Oh, for sure,
Nothing but
for
the
sure.
best, brother.
No problem.
All
Love y'all.
right. Love you too, man. Take care. What are y'all thoughts on that?
Now,
Take this call.
it's funny because what he's saying is I understand exactly what he means when I was younger, had my daughter, I'd get on the floor and be king. Hey, Barbie. And I'd get in the car and drive all crazy, and she'd be like, Dad.
That's not how you
I
play.
said, that's how he's going to do if you let him ride your damn Corvette. He's going to act a fool. So, so I did with that. And then, like I said, with my daughter Diamond, the discipline, I never really had to discipline her. I would tell her, don't do that because of this, this, and that. She didn't do it. Now, 23 years later, I got these little ones that are acting a fool that I've had to take my belt out and whoop their asses because they're acting a fool. But then it's also because now I'm married, I have a woman here, and their mom is with us. We're doing this together. So
Right.
it's not just me by myself, where my daughter understood that, when she was with her mom, it was something different than when she was with me. As much as her mom tried to buy her affection and had the nice house and all the good job and all that, she still rather be with me working this little bullshit job, telling her like, I can't get to that right now because we broke, And she understood. She didn't mind. Hey, I'm good. Her thing was, you spend time with me. We have dinner together every night. We had dinner together. I wouldn't eat dinner till she got home. There's times she'd get home like, Dad, you could have ate. I'm like, no, we eat dinner all the time.
Right.
My sister. Now the other part of that was, I had my two sisters that were around that I could drop her off. They'd come around and help her with the girl stuff that I don't
You
know
had
what
no clue
this
about
women
it, yeah.
shit, and plus I had my mom and dad there. My mom helped us at the beginning when we were together, was married. My mom helped a lot, but then when I was single and taking care of, my mom and sisters were still there helping me out. My brother was there; they were always helping. So if I had problems, hey, my mom would let me know, or my mom, they disciplined her a certain way. My sisters would tell my daughter, yo, you better get your ass home. Your dad's waiting for you to go eat. Oh, and then she'd run home and we eat, With the ones I have now, because, it's two parents in the house, it's totally different. And I don't have the energy to play with y'all like I did with the other one. When I had the other one, I was 20 years old. I had all the energy in the world.
Yeah.
Now,
You're still a kid, your damn self.
now I'm in my 50s, the noise irritates me more when you're screaming and yelling, when you're playing. Back then, my daughter my house was party central. All her friends, I would take raising other kids, because they were always at the house. All the noise, none of that shit bothered me. Nowadays, a few screams and yells and fighting back and forth, I'm ready to kick everybody's ass and just like, yo, no, I can't handle that no more.
Yeah.
Luckily, Amy, she's 14 years younger than I am. Her approach is different. She's more calm, more collected.
She has more patience,
because I don't have the patience anymore. And that's what I noticed, like what Danny just said, it's different, that generation thing, You, at 18, he didn't know what he was doing. At 20, I never even thought about having kids or nothing like that. It just sprung on me. My daughter was born. Okay, I realized it's not about me no more. I got to make sure that this thing lives longer than me.
Amen.
Whatever I got to do, I will do what I got to do. But like I said, and then, forward 23 years later, I'm having another one. I'm 50 years old now. I don't have time to play with you. I can't do that. I can't get on the floor and play dolls with you like I did with my other one. Right. I didn't discipline the other. I disciplined the other one, but only verbally, just tell her what I wanted to do, why she, like he said, you explain that to him. You can't do this and that because that's not good. So why do it? And she listened. She wouldn't do the shit. These two I got now, explain that to them. Next thing you know, they're doing the exact same shit again. So now that I'm old and shit irritates me more, now I'm getting more frustrated. And yes, I had to take the belt out, whoop their butts to show them. And that hurt because like,
Los whoop his kids? What?
I said, I never did that to the first one, but I understand that you're not listening. You're not doing like your other sister did when I would tell her, no, don't do that because that's not right. But she wouldn't do it. I never had to deal with it again.
What about you, John, man? Was there a difference in your parenting style?
Oh yeah, big time. Because, like, as I see, I'm kind of the opposite of Los. As I got older, I got more patient with my kids.
Right.
When I was younger, I was real short with my kids.
Right.
And they'll tell you, I was quick to whoop. You get out of line, hey, you got hit and that was it. You know, it wasn't to me, at least in my mind, I don't think it was excessive. They might argue that point. My kids might argue that point. I don't think it was excessive, but I do recognize that in some situations I could have handled them differently and probably got a better outcome out of them.
Right.
But that's in hindsight. Now that I'm 47, I'm looking back at the situations, going, "Oh yeah, I could have did that a little bit different. I could have handled that a little bit better."
It's interesting you say that, because when I was looking up, like, I don't have children,
Right.
but I was looking at, like, okay, what are the differences between people that had children, whether it was male or female, when you were younger versus you was older. That's interesting that you say that, because one of the things that they said, well, a couple of things. They said, when you are older, of course, you have greater financial stability, which I think we'll all agree.
Right.
Then you have a greater appreciation for being a parent, which I think we'll all agree again.
Right.
So, but one of the things they also said was, older parents are more prone to utilize the positive parenting style. I'm like, okay, I got 2 degrees in psychology. What the hell is that? And they said the positive parenting style is, you coach instead of trying to control. You connect instead of trying to correct. You share emotional responsibility. You parent the child you have and not the child you wanted. So in other words, what they were saying was, like, you have more, in addition to, you have more stable relationships in your life.
Right.
Like you and your wife, for example. I'm sure you and your wife now, not that your first relationship wasn't good, but you have a more stable relationship, which you have now when you're raising your children as an older individual. You also have more stable family connections, you know, like your sisters, your brothers, your mothers, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, what have you. You have a bigger social network to help rear your child, you know, or what have you. Friends, for example, I kept my little 2 girls this weekend. You know what I mean? You have a greater network you can depend on. So my point is, like I'm saying, it seems like both of you all, to some degree, are saying as you got older, you had a different approach or a better appreciation towards the rearing of your children.
Mine was backwards because I was young. I never even thought. My thought was, yeah, if I have kids one day, as I was growing up.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old, boom, I got a kid now. Okay. Right away, I understood. It's not about me no more. That's the very first thing I said when my daughter was born.
Yeah.
It's not about me no more. It's about that.
Yeah.
So I had my mom, my dad.
Yes.
Brothers. I had everybody there.
I follow you.
Now that I'm older, they're all gone.
They're gone.
They can't help me as much as they did then, but now it's just me and Amy. Now, what they said there, what you read, Amy approaches it that way.
Got you.
I'm older now. I can't deal with this shit as much anymore. My nerves. So that's why, like, hearing what you said there, is opposite of what I went through.
Sure.
I was more in
There's
control.
no playbook, brother.
I was more in control. Like we said, you know, when the kid is born, a book don't come out and say, rule 1, step 1.
That's what I'm scared of.
You just got, you know. So I'm 20 years old. I got a wife. You know, we're doing this together. I handle it like, hey, my only thought was, whatever I got to do to keep this thing alive, I got to do it. If there's only one thing to eat, you eat it. I'll worry about I can deal with hunger for a few more days than she can. You eat. You know, hey, there's enough water for you to take a bath. You take the bath.
Brother.
You know, shit. I only got one flashlight. I'll put it in your room because we ain't got no lights.
Brother.
You know, shit like that.
Brother.
You know, and then back then, even like opposite of what they said, I wasn't stable financially. I was job for job, like $8 an hour here, $7 here, and that go to this job, go to that job. But like I was telling John before you had stepped out, she was okay with that. Yeah. Even though she knew her mom could provide everything she wanted, she would rather live with me because I spent time with her, not her mom. Well, here, let's go to the mall and buy you something, and you should be happy. No, I can't get you that right now, but hey, we can play. We can go, and she loved that shit. You know. Now, fast forward 23 years, they got a mom to deal with. It's almost reversed now. I'm financially stable, but nerve-wise and being able to deal with them, you know, I can't have all this goddamn noise. You know? I'm not the same dad as I was. That's why I always say 2 different dads. You know, it's funny how I thought about that because it's like, this is 2 different dads.
What about you, man?
I feel those because at the same time, my oldest has kids, right? So I'm a grandfather now.
Okay, congratulations.
So, I love
you as well.
and I love my grandbabies, but at the same time, I can't deal with them at my age. Like I love them, and I really wanted to be one of those grandparents who just like doted over their grandkids and was like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna love on you and do all the stuff that maybe I didn't get the chance to do with mine because they was I was too busy working and doing all of that."
Right.
Man, I kept them for a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
From like a Friday evening to like Sunday afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
By the time Sunday came, I was so ready for them to fucking go.
Really?
I loved them, but I was so ready for them to go. And it wasn't that they were bad, but they were just being kids.
Right.
And my patience for
Right.
dealing with a lot. Stop that. Stop
Right.
that. Stop.
Right.
Stop that.
Right.
Get down. Don't climb on that. Those kind of things were really grating on my nerves.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I'm not gonna be that grandparent. I'm gonna still love on them in my own way.
Sure.
But the grandparent who just said, "Oh, bring me my babies," and just leave them, drop them
Right.
off whenever you want to.
Right.
Nah, that ain't finna be me, bro.
Now that's the opposite of me. I want to see my grandkids as much as I tell my daughter, "Yo, if you want to go somewhere, bring them here. You can leave them here a whole month."
So wait a minute.
I understand where you're going. It doesn't make sense because my granddaughter's only like
Right.
4 or
You already
5
know where I'm
years
going. Right.
different. She's only about
right.
4 years, younger than
Right.
her aunt.
You're right.
But I can deal with them easier than I can with my daughters, and that's and I don't know what that is. It's it's weird. I don't know if maybe because yes, they're Amy's granddaughters too, but they're my blood, not hers.
I ain't trying to get you in trouble, by the way.
No.
Okay, right.
And that's what in me it's confusing too. Like I want my daughter to send me my grandkids so I can hang out with them, and because of the age of my daughters, they could all hang out. I mean, she got aunts that are. I got a 3-year-old granddaughter. Her aunts are 7 and 8. And now I got a new granddaughter who's just a baby we haven't met yet, but they're not much difference. When they grow up, they're going to be sisters. People are going to be like, yeah, that's right. That's your aunt. Yeah, right. You look older than her.
Right.
No, these are my aunts. Why? Because my granddad was something else. That's
I got an uncle that's literally only 1 year, if like maybe 9 months older than I
remember
am.
when you told me
so
that.
I feel that.
And
I
how
feel
you could see him
from.
talking to your dad, like cussing
Like,
at him. He's like, man, you
like,
can't be
have you
talking.
lost your mind?
But it's like, wait, that's his brother. He can talk all the shit he wants
Exactly.
to.
You remember that's exactly right.
And it's like my oldest of the little ones, she's always asking me, so if I tell her something, she has to listen. I'm like, technically, you are her aunt. She has to respect that. Even though she's only 3 years younger than you.
I wouldn't go on
So you understand? So I'm 18 years old. My uncle is 25. And I gotta listen to this nigga, fuck that. But technically, respectfully, you have to listen to what this person says. It may never come to that, but if it came to a point where, okay, hey, your aunt told you to stop, you need to stop. My aunt, what? She's like my sister. Fuck her. That's what that might get. But yeah, so that's what's weird with me. Like I said, I want to. Then the other part is it's also because I don't live close. So I don't.
That's another factor.
Right,
Yeah.
So my granddaughter's 3 years old. I see her on the phone all the time. We do that trip to Michigan every year. I see her for a week physically, unless my daughter comes to visit me. So it's not like I may feel like you feel when she can drop her off every goddamn weekend, and then after a while I'm like, well, I can't deal with it. Sunday comes, get them because now I got to deal with her and these 2 other ones too. So I got 4 little ones to deal with, 2 being my grandkids and 2 being my daughters, because they're all going to be able to play together. So, but for right now though, I would love to bring her on. I tell her when she turns 5, you're sending her to me a whole month in the summer. You go do whatever the fuck you want with your husband.
Yeah.
And I got them, and I know I'm gonna be okay with that. But also, they're gonna take a lot of that time up.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna take a lot of that
That's
time.
right.
So I'm just here that when she wants to hang out with Abuelo, hey, come hang out with me, no problem.
That's right.
But I know you're gonna go off with them, so I'm not like you may have to deal with them because your kids are gone. It's just you and your grandkids.
Yeah.
I can see why you might at the end of Sunday like, woo, man, you need to come on, But so for me, it's
you're gonna be here at 10.
Right, you know what I mean?
It's
Why is
10.
it 2 o'clock and you're not here yet? What the hell?
Man, when I was looking at some of the cons of being an older parent, man, and I'm only looking at this. Thank you, brother. I'm only looking at this because I'm edging on 50, and I've been considering it. Being honest with you. Some of the things that I found challenging were, and you spoke directly to them, and I'm sure you may experience some of them. They was So you got the generation gap.
Right.
I think I could make that.
I
leap.
think you could bridge that.
I think I could bridge.
Right.
I could manage that. But what I don't know would be, they said, hey man, you have a lot more exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
You may have health concerns, being set in your ways.
Right.
But even more so, what got me, you're raising children while you're helping taking care of your old aging parent.
That's true too.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so but I mean, I know we can go on the subject for another episode,
Right.
but man, I'm gonna let you go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, and like you said, for me, because I was young, having Diamond, my mom was there to help.
Yeah,
I didn't have to take care of them.
yeah,
And then as I got older, I'm on my own. So
Yeah.
Diamond's on her own.
yeah,
I didn't have to take care of my mom and dad. And
Yeah.
my sister took care of that. And then I have these two kids. My mom got lucky enough to meet one of them. My dad didn't get to meet neither one. But they helped out. My mom couldn't help much.
yeah,
You know, she tried her best, but it's still on me. And like I said, having Amy around too, that was the part that it's two different things. She's doing it a certain way. I'm like, nah, fuck that, whoop they ass. You know?
It's like you, John, like, 'cause I know your mom is still with us, right?
Yeah. My
Yeah.
mom's still kicking.
How did you manage that?
Oh man, I was lucky, man. She stayed. My mom's 81, and she stayed for the most part healthy through most of my kids' childhood. So she was always my go-to. You know,
That's what's up.
if I wanted to get away for a weekend or have a little time, even just to myself, I could call mom and be like, "Hey, can I bring the kids over?" You know. Now the one part that made it difficult for me was that I had so many.
Okay.
Because I got a total of 4 kids, and 3 of my kids lived with me their entire childhood.
Okay.
My oldest daughter, she lived with her mom. But if I was coming to drop them off, it was never just dropping off one. I'm dropping off 3,
Right.
Got you.
you know.
Got you.
And from my oldest son to my youngest, there's 6-year age difference.
Okay.
So you might have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old,
So
and
they're
then
all right there.
and so they're all on that same level of
Yeah.
hyperactivity.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that saved me there was that my brother lived with my mom. So even now, he still lives with her and helps take care of her and all that kind of stuff. But he had kids of his own.
Got
So whenever they went over there, it was cousin time.
you. Right. Right.
So you could pretty much stick them in a room all together,
they good.
and they'd entertain
It's
themselves.
backyard time.
Now- Now they wind up teaching my youngest one some things she was too young to know, but that's a whole nother
That's
conversation.
a whole nother day. That's the sibling
I
conversation.
love you, Lindsay and Ryan, but goddamn it, I heard some things that make me question y'all.
Right. She don't need to know how to twerk.
No doubt. No doubt.
They wasn't teaching how to twerk. Look, I'd have been all right with twerking.
Some of that other stuff. Right. Right.
Yeah, Bob was there too. Bob used to babysit for me a lot
Right.
when he was good. My kids to this day still call him Uncle Bobby, because that was how he got introduced, and that was all they knew.
That's right. And like my girls with Ron, it's
Uncle Ron.
Because everybody,
Yeah,
they're gonna be okay. I'm like, yeah, that's their uncle. They
They
know him.
good.
It's not
Yeah,
like I just
Paul.
got somebody that never knew what
No,
they do.
no
watching.
random dude off the street.
Right.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
They had a good time. They had a great time.
Yes, they did.
It was like me and Amy always say, "Oh, your kids were good." Like my kids,
kids?
yeah, they're good when we're not around. That's what it is. But either way, coming back, we got to end this somehow or another. Maybe another day we will revisit
Yeah,
this.
man. Let's revisit it.
Because
man.
it seemed like a lot of people. We do apologize for those of you that had to come back to us, and we thank you for coming back to us. Don't forget our website, www.thedailysmoketha.com.
Yes.
Everything about us is there, all our upcoming episodes. Everything you need to know about us is there. And donations and support, $TD Smoke. Go there and help us out so we can stop this technical difficulty shit and be able to come with you live all the time.
We're so sorry.
Although live, you never know what's going to happen. But either way, thank y'all for watching.
Thank you.
Hopefully you did come back and finish this episode. We
Thank
may
you.
revisit this again. If you do want to revisit this and you wanted to call in today because, you came to watch us, or maybe you had comments, you want to send us an email. Let us know that, yes, you do want to revisit this, and we will sure enough revisit this. So,
Definitely.
hey, that's all we got for today. I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Jam.
And this is McDonald's Wi-Fi.
McDonald's, right? McDonald's, Wendy, Jack in the Box Wi-Fi. We got everybody's Wi-Fi. We need to get on each other. We need to get the low system.
This is Timmy Chan's Wi-Fi.
Right.
This is Timmy Chan's Wi-Fi.
right.
But that's Timmy Chan back in the day, because right now Timmy Chan is up there with McDonald's too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
OG.
so yeah, thank y'all for joining us. And we's out.
Peace.
We time.
They go to leg, boy. They go to leg.